one of the most luxurious restaurants in Los Angeles. As you walked in, you could feel dim lights, light jazz music in the background, and a crowded but decent atmosphere. Elon Musk was coming out of a busy meeting and entering the restaurant in a black suit, dark blue shirt, and tie. He was greeted at the door by an elegant welcome team and directed to a specially reserved table by the staff. Musk sat at his private table by a window overlooking the nighttime landscape of Los Angeles. When he entered, the waiters bowed their heads slightly in respect, but he sent them a warm smile with his relaxed and sincere demeanor. His table had a modern table setting, a sleek porcelain dinnerware, a crystal water glass, and the restaurant's special menu. The waiter approached Musk to take his order. In a calm and measured voice, Musk placed his order. A steak, medium rare, with grilled vegetables and a glass of water, please. After taking the order, the waiter politely thanked him and walked away. At that moment, everything seemed quite ordinary. But a few minutes later, the mood began to change when Musk overheard conversations at a nearby table. At a table just a few meters away from Musk sat several well-dressed men. One of them, in particular, was talking quite loudly and giving condescending looks to the waiter standing next to him. The waiter was a young black man. He was wearing a clean and neatly ironed white shirt, black pants, and an apron. The young man had a kind but slightly reserved expression on his face. But instead of appreciating his kindness, the customer began to ask questions in a sarcastic manner. "Did you misunderstand me?" the customer asked, squinting. "Can you understand what I'm saying? Can you speak English?" The waiter blushed slightly. He had obviously been in this situation before. But he bowed his head in a professional manner and respectfully replied, "I apologize, sir. I'll correct it right away." The customer nodded and turned to his friends, smiling and whispering something. His friends chuckled lightly. This behavior clearly showed their contempt for the waiter. Elon Musk was watching this scene carefully. A slight discomfort appeared in his eyes. But instead of intervening immediately, he wanted to first understand and observe the situation. The waiter was still shaking slightly as he walked away from the table. He was obviously used to this sort of thing, but this was not something to get used to. Musk took a deep breath and called the manager of the restaurant. The manager came over, bowed slightly, and asked respectfully, "How can I help you, Mr. Musk?" Musk got straight to the point. "How do you think this waiter works here?" The manager was a little surprised by this question. He didn't know if the waiter was aware of any special circumstances, so he answered hesitantly, "She's a hard worker. She does her best to please the customers." Musk nodded. "But some of the customers are not very happy with him?" he asked. The executive paused for a moment. It was strange for a boss to come to him with such a specific question, but he answered honestly, "Yes, sometimes he's misunderstood because of his accent, but he's very nice." Musk smiled slightly. This waiter's accent did not change his professionalism. After all, everyone had the right to work, and people should be judged by their abilities, not their appearance or the way they spoke. After this answer, Elon Musk quietly took his phone out of his jacket pocket. No one noticed what he did, but within a few seconds, he sent a message. Many people thought he was just writing a normal message at that moment, but minutes later, when a black luxury SUV pulled up in front of the restaurant, it would be revealed what had really happened. Minutes later, a black luxury SUV pulled up in front of the restaurant. A man in a suit walked through the door. The restaurant staff did not recognize him, but it was clear from his posture and seriousness that he was someone important. He was Tesla's human resources manager. Taking his time, Elon Musk calmly lifted his glass of water and sipped. Then, as if nothing had happened, he turned to the waiter and said, "I like how you work here. Do you want to work in a better place? In a job you deserve?" The young waiter froze. His eyes widened, and he asked with a puzzled expression, "Are you serious?" He didn't seem to know the answer to this question, because he never thought he would be offered such a great opportunity. Musk nodded. "If you want, you can join the customer service team at Tesla. A better salary, a better environment, and a place where you will be respected." The waiter's hands trembled slightly. He could never have imagined such an opportunity. Just a few minutes ago, he had been snubbed by a customer, and now one of the richest men in the world was making him a life-changing offer. This was not just a job change, but an opportunity for redemption for him. Musk turned to his manager with a slight smile on his face and added, "If he chooses to continue working here, give him a raise. But if he chooses to leave, we are ready to build his future." The waiter could hardly hold back his tears. He thought for a few seconds and then, in a trembling voice, said, "I accept." Many customers in the restaurant didn't notice the scene, but the racist man at that table and his friends would never forget it. The next morning, the young man was no longer a waiter, but a brand new life as one of Tesla's new employees. He still couldn't believe his eyes. As he entered Tesla's office, he was filled with excitement. When he walked through the door, a greeter showed him the department where he would be working. The office was modern and elegant. Glass walls, glossy surfaces, and Tesla's large logo shone through the building. The human resources team gave him a warm welcome. They knew he was someone Musk had personally instructed, so he was given extra attention. At the end of his first day, The young man saw a message on his phone. It was from Elon Musk. Musk, you deserve this, but remember, someday you can help someone else. The young man stared at the phone screen for a while. Then he took a deep breath and smiled slightly, and he wrote his answer. I promise that one day I will support someone too. A few months later, the waiter was now working in the customer service department. He adapted to his job very quickly. In just a few months, he had even been promoted for his achievements. But the biggest change was his confidence. He was no longer someone who took orders to a table, but someone who solved people's problems, someone who was respected in a technology company, and most importantly, he made a promise that one day he would help someone in a difficult situation like his. One day while working in the office, he went out during his lunch break. He noticed a young boy sitting in front of a cafe. The boy, dressed in worn clothes, was writing something in a small notebook. The young man approached him and greeted him. "What are you doing?" he asked politely. The boy shyly showed him his notebook. He wrote that he dreamed of working for a technology company, but didn't know what path he should take. The new employee at Tesla smiled at the boy's dream. For a moment, he remembered himself from months ago, and then he decided he was going to help someone, just like Elon Musk had done for him. He started talking to the boy, told him what paths he could take, and even said he would help him find a small scholarship fund. In that moment, he realized a chain of good deeds had begun, and it all started with an incident in a restaurant that night. This story shows the real consequences of not remaining silent about racism and injustice. Sometimes a small act can change someone's life forever. What do you think about Elon Musk's gesture? Have you heard similar stories? Share them with us in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications for more true and inspiring stories.